Ashlands, it's Soth. I have recently gotten back into Valheim, and during the course of that involved getting back onto our old server, to which a whole bunch of me and my friends have actually done what I think is some very impressive work. So I'm really glad that we haven't lost it in the transition to the new Ashlands update. So honestly, I maintain that I'm very proud of everything that we did, and I kind of just want to show it off and give some props to Bagel and Bataru and Shadow and Ness and Zucchini, and Foxy and Jay for all the hard work that they did and really doing this cool thing. But I'm going to be taking you through basically our entire giant mountain castle because we decided to build in a very difficult biome instead of, just settling on the meadows. But we've actually spread quite a bit around. So just giving you an idea, that's actually the spawn point right there. We're over here, and we kind of encompass just this entire area. So I'm going to go ahead and take you through, and I just show some really cool stuff. So as you can tell, this is not the mountain. This is actually down in the meadows, Black Forest combo that kind of borders where we do a lot of our sailing off. You can see we got the water here. And this is the docks that Shadow built. I know he loved it despite all of his myriad of complaints, but he single-handedly dug all of this out and made the water channels possible for all of our boats to sit in here. Unfortunately, he did a lot of this prior to the Ashlands coming out when they introduced a new boat, so he had to kind of redo it. But as you can see, we have basically built an entire dock structure down here for everything to sit. Our current big boat, the Drakkar, as it's called, is down in the Ashlands. We took it there for our initial incursion, and given how hard it was to get there and back, I don't know if it's ever going to come back from there, because I'm not looking forward to sailing out of there, much less actually sailing into there. To give you an idea of how big it is, that's the raft. It's a size. And then, where is it? That's the Drakkar. So it's made to sit in this particularly large one here. We did have it in there at one point, but it takes up quite a bit of room, to be honest with you. But otherwise, it's basically, this was a landing zone for us to come back, drop stuff off, get it into chests, get it up there. There is a portal up to the actual castle over in here, but when you're carrying metals and stuff, at least prior to this, you could not portal those. So you had to get them all the way up to the top of the castle on foot, because carts are not super great. And that brings me to the path, which I think is something that I'm super proud of because I worked on it. But basically, I cut an entire path down from the mountain, and I can't believe it's raining. As you can see, we have torches and everything to keep this all nicely lit up. But I cut a path down from the mountain all the way down to our docks that is completely walkable, so that way you could basically go up it encumbered. But it rises up here to the top, pretty straightforward, and I like decorating. Yes, we have a mod installed to keep all the torches eternally burning, because I like making things look fancy with lighting and stuff like that. But a lot of this stuff, like, honestly, we don't need a sign, but I thought it looked cool, and it would look like that for people coming through. But this whole path just leads all the way through the forest here. A bunch of fake, like, fallen signposts. They don't really do anything. They're just, again, there to be decorative. Over here, there is a pathway over to the farm. We'll divert over to that once we get over to it, but there's a different entryway to it. But this just continues on all the way up, and yes, I pretty much installed all of this in order to make it so that we could walk all the way up. I don't know why all these materials are here. That's super weird. But it continues on, and as you can see, there is a sign here. This was already here, honestly. Like, there was a town here full of the zombie guys whose names I'm totally blanking on right now. I killed everything and then cleaned it out, and I just fixed it up to kind of put on the facade because I thought it looked fun. Again, literally does nothing, but it just looks kind of cool. I like to pretend we're the lords of the village. I need to make a path over to it yet, but I haven't done that yet. I don't know where all these materials came from. That worries me, because that means something was probably destroyed or someone dumped something. But it doesn't matter. This here is an entryway into the farm. There is a gate down there. I'm not going to go in this way because honestly this leads directly into the boar pen, which is a pain in the butt to jump around, and I don't feel like doing it. Plus, it means I would skip all of this as you see the transition into the actual mountains. It's very nice that it's gotten super foggy right as I wanted to do this, because that makes it hard to see. Trust me, there's a farm down there. We just have to get around to it. But this continues on. This forks up into the mountain, which we'll go to next. But this here is the farm. Ness's ranch. Ness has done a lot of our farming. Honestly, she's been instrumental in basically keeping all of us fed. This was a pretty big endeavor for everything that we were doing. Like, it started as basically a work camp in the mountain, and people were building and designing, and me and Shadow were constantly doing supply runs, and Ness was farming and keeping us fed. But we have all of our honey. We have our chickens, and they lay us eggs and stuff like that because they're good little chickens. Our boar pen, which I think they have actually escaped, but there were boars in here at one point. I don't know where the heck they went. Maybe they're all dead. Who knows? And then this is basically all the farming that we're doing. I have not picked or replanted anything, mostly because I'm very lazy and don't feel like doing it right now. Also, it looks nice for the video. All these beautiful crops. But we have basically the chickens mass producing eggs and breeding and everything like that, so we can get feathers and chicken meat and store all of the seeds and keep everything nicely organized here. This over here, there's the entrance from before. This is Ness's cabin. She built basically a giant manor for doing the farming, so that way we could keep everything kind of stored in here and organized, because, oh my gosh, organization is huge because there's just so much crap all the time. It's actually kind of cool because this leads in here to the grain farm as well. It's totally not important. There's literally nothing built in here. We just got really fortunate as we were sailing around to look for this place. We were like, how the heck are we going to run a... Oh, there's a great orphan here. Hello. We were like, how the heck are we going to run a grain farm? Because we're going to have to try to survive on the plains and figure that out or do something like that. And the way we did that is there's the teeny tiny little sliver of plains down here that we leveled so that nothing's supposed to be able to spawn. And we basically made it into our grain farm, but it borders the swamp and the Black Forest. So, not the most safe of places, but in theory, nothing's supposed to be able to spawn here. So, again, no idea what that guy's doing here. And yes, I have to close every door behind me because I just prefer to keep things nice and clean. So we'll head out of the cabin. There's seeker meat on the ground too. I wonder if that's what's killing things. I think maybe she moved the boars up there because we're trying to install like a... It's weird as it sounds, like a breeding chute, so they give birth and then just drop the boar because we wanted a constant supply of boar meat. But we'll continue up the mountain here, and again, it's all walkable, super nice. I'm going to run because I don't want to waste time. But so this was all me trying to carve this into the mountain. I ended up not gaining altitude nearly as fast as I wanted to, which led to this, which is my little defensive tower in the mountain. I like to pretend it's just a nice little defense depot and waypoint, but basically it let me gain altitude very quickly while getting up into the mountains. But it leads to this nice little landing, and if you can overlook, you can kind of get a really nice shot of the farm down there with all the lights and everything going. I think it looks super cool, and it just, especially at night, which is great that we're heading into nighttime. So this continues on. This doesn't go anywhere yet. I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know if we need it to go anywhere there. But again, a little cabin waypoint here with the farm directing it. Again, just a facade. This really has nothing in it, but it just looks nice as you're walking up the path, and we're all about decorations here. And we call it Fort Knox. For those who don't know, it's not a play on Fort Knox like the jail. Our guild is called Knoxorians, so we called it Fort Knox. This pathway here, usually there's lights all along this, like little torches, but as you can see from the wood, they keep destroying it. I think it's wolves. I have tried over and over to keep things built, but they just keep destroying it. There you can see a pack of wolves, and actually down the mountain a little bit, this path diverges. There's a little tiny camp down there. Again, just decoration, something to look at on the path, kind of as you come by this ruined post here. Because they were down there already, there was like... go away. There was a little tiny camp already there, just as decoration, and so I fixed it up and made it look nice. And I remember a time when seeing a pack of 3 wolves, one of them 1 star, would have terrified me. And now they are more of a nuisance than anything. And that's just how far we've come in this particular game, which is awesome. I guess in a way it's kind of cool that they keep destroying everything here, because it makes this part look a little more dangerous, a little more like rugged mountain path. But continues through this nice little crevice here, and as you can see, we are coming up on the actual mountain castle. That's just our nice... Sorry, I hear things. Our nice little rise up here. We'll be able to look at everything going up. Down here at the bottom, again, I like decorating with lights and doing little things. What the... Oh. Can you guys not? I'm trying to record here. Thank you. Seriously. Where was I? Again, I like decorating and stuff like that, but made it look like a little defensive tower. Seriously. Bye. Little defensive tower, like we're trying to defend it here. And then there's just another one here, and a little mountain village. Again, nothing really here, just a facade, but it looks really cool, like as you're walking by. Think of it like if you play WoW, it's like the flight paths and stuff. Really? I am just being assaulted by Seekers now? Thank God I ain't. We have begun our initial incursions into the Ashlands, so I'm wearing some of that armor, but we haven't done a lot. Like, we've gotten down here, so we haven't actually even gotten to the main islands, but it's hard. It's tough getting in there, guys. Like, there's a lot of crags and vultures and stupid frickin' serpents and stuff like that. And what are you guys doing? Seriously. Okay, so anyway, this is the actual pathway that starts going up, and I did all of this. Did the stairs, did the arches and the flames. And you can probably tell I did the arches and stuff like that, because if you notice, yes, the banners are in rainbow order. Because if those of you who don't know me, I'm a homosexual, and I wanted to be pretty with rainbows. This path was originally going to come from this way, which is why this is carved out, but now it's just like an abandoned project, but it kind of goes over to the side of the castle, so I guess it's cool. But it keeps going up. I don't know why I chose the blue and white one for our guild. I think it looks nice, but it keeps going up, and up, and up, and up, and up, and up. And again, whoops. Ugh, of course now I can't get on the stupid ledge. Gets a nice aerial shot. It looks really good from a distance, with all the lights and everything like that built down. And then this is the actual castle. So seriously, this recording's been 15 minutes long, and we're actually just now getting to the castle for the first time. So we get to this nice little courtyard that kind of just extends over there. Doesn't really go anywhere. Ugh, someone's destroying my benches. But this nice little courtyard with benches and the tree that I put lights in and everything like that to keep it all nice and burning. And then this is the front with the big old bonfire. We have completely dug out a trench around this entire place to keep it safe, and then built the castle into that. So, woohoo! Got a close door behind me. There's a dragon around here somewhere. This is just kind of the front courtyard. It's just a nice little open space. Put a little fire pit in here. Lit it all up nice and blue. And then right here we have kind of the most important, the most in-use portals. So as you can see, there's actually one that goes down to the docks. There's one that goes to our wood farm. There's one that goes to the Ashlands. And you're probably thinking, why isn't there one to the regular farm? There is. It's just in the pantry, and we'll see it later. I gotta slow my camera down, but there's the back side of it. As you can see, I put turrets around everything because there is like a million dragons, and that's actually a friendly wolf. I have tamed the wolves. Nice little area shot of the castle. I will go down into... Shadow just logged on. I will go down into the courtyard here. As you can see, this is just a portal that just goes to the Ashlands, which is what we're doing right now. Not important that I go through this, but I'm going to go through it anyway, because the Ashlands is kicking our ass. Sorry for cursing. And we've literally just made the smallest little incursion there. There's the Drakkar if you were interested in it. It's freaking huge, and I don't think this one's ever coming back. So I'm not sailing out of here. So this is just a nice little courtyard here. This goes out. It's just kind of like a backside entrance, and I see more seekers in the distance. And I put like, I guess you would call it a gazebo in here. I don't know if that's what you would want to call this, but I thought it looked really cool. Now you're going to run away? Seriously? Sorry, I did not intend to do this much fighting. And now Shadow's messaging me in Discord asking, why aren't you in Discord to talk? And I'm like, because I'm recording a video. I don't have the crafting station to repair that. I intend to extend this path down here eventually, but for now, I just built a little back gazebo because I thought it looked kind of nice outside the castle. As you can see, the trench goes all the way around. This here is Shadow's magic tower, and we call it that because it's where Shadow built the tower, and then we keep the Galder table in here, and more importantly, we keep the, I go all the way up, the Etir refinery encapsulated in here. This thing is huge, and it sucks because as it's processing, it sends off little magic bolts everywhere that destroys everything around it except for this black stone. So we had to encase it in here and try to keep everything safe, but it still escapes because we'll come out here and we'll see these roofs get damaged and destroyed and stuff like that. But this is the roof of the dormitory. What's the dormitory? We haven't been in there yet, but I'll get in there. But this is the top of the tower. Again, lots of defensive things, kind of overlooking my little gazebo, and it just kind of like extends out. And I honestly sometimes just like to stand up here because I think this is such a really pretty view. I think it's such a good showcase of everything our castle is. We kind of built it all in here. So, yo. Before we continue to more of the castle, I do want to take a slight detour. There's this portal here. You can see it goes to the portal room. And in true Stormwind Mage fashion, again, all Shadow. Someone needs to get this man player housing. I swear to God, he would lose himself in it. But he built this giant frickin'... Oh, I'm falling. That's not what I meant to do. This giant frickin' portal room to house the various portals. And as you can see, there's a lot of them to all the different places that we go. You can kind of see some structures out there, and that's because this is actually our original Meadowlands base that we had, because it's really close to the spawn point. This is the actual OG base that we had as a team. That's just like set up out here. Oh, it's daytime. I can actually go outside now. I don't have to fight too much. But there's nothing really important to show here. It's just really funny how he built it into this after we like wholeheartedly abandoned this. He's been talking to himself. He's like, I need to add a third floor. So again, someone get this man player housing. He will lose his mind because like he did all of this by himself. By the way, like I got him some of the supplies, but he just did all of this. But yeah, and then he wants to put a third floor roof on it yet. I don't know how he plans to do that, but power to him. So we'll go back here. And this actually isn't even the first thing we did. We have a whole like town setup that we did. The castle came about because we built the town, and we're like, this town is really spread out, and it's really annoying that we have to dash everywhere just to get to the blacksmith area. And so we built this to be a much more condensed spot. So this is the dormitory. Again, Shadow built this. He did a lot of the stuff. I did a lot of the decorating. So he built the structures, I decorated. But it's got all of our beds in it. It gives us the maximum comfort, which is 19 that you can see up there. That's my bed right there. See, I can sleep in it if I want. We've got all of our trophies hanging up around here, various things that we killed. You can see that around the castle in various spots. Again, you may notice, look, a rainbow order of banner. That's how you'll know that I have been here, because if it's got a color scheme, it's going in rainbow order. Something I didn't show you that was up in the magic tower as well, but it also leads to the roof of the dormitory. And it has a little, whoop, come on, a little spa area with a nice hot tub. That's how we get it to 19. But it's got all these little structures up here. Someone did these banners. I think Shadow actually did those. That's why they're not in rainbow order. It's fine. He's straight. We'll let him keep it for this one, I suppose. Really quick part of this before I continue on. There's this banner here, and this actually leads down into our little treasure room. So Valheim doesn't actually have caves, but we dug out under a rock, and we made our own cave. So we kind of, I don't know, as long as the rock doesn't collapse, we're safe down here. But this is where we put all of our treasure and our giant dragon's hoard and everything like that. And that's why there's all these crystals down here and stuff. And apparently I had picked up some rubies, which I didn't intend to do, but whatever. All the way back up. So then over here we have all of our blacksmith area. So down below is all the crafting. So the forge, the artisan table, the black forge, all that stuff. We've organized the bars, and it goes up here to see the charcoal kiln, the blast furnaces, and the forges and stuff like that to kind of keep all of this here. Sorry if the camera whips around a lot. It's not my intention. I'm just excited. This then leads into our Library of Alexandria for storage. So we can always put more in here, but there's a lot of materials. You got to keep things very organized, and that's why we have all of these chests here. They're all labeled. We're going to add more to keep things going for Ashlands, our cartography table, but you got to know where to put things so we know where to get things. And yes, you'll notice that there are two chests over here named Soth's chests. That's mostly because I was very much a grab and go. I'm back, I'm dumping things off, I'm going back out. So I would come in here, dump everything in chests so I could go right back out and keep gathering things for people. This goes up here. It's a big stairway, and it leads into our throne room. So we have a throne here for everyone. Me, Shadow, Bagel, Battery, Foxy, all of them here. But it's kind of with this big rock backdrop and a fire behind us. It looks really cool. And it can lead to this balcony, which again gives a nice overlook of the castle to kind of see everything here. So I'll jump down. Shadow's probably like, "What are you doing?" He had no idea I was going to record this right now. I made him the mage stuff because he dies a lot, and I love him for it, but he dies a lot. So this Smokey Mischief is the original one. Mischief was my puppy's name, and I tamed him. He must be out there somewhere, but he's the original one. But this is the kitchen. So they built the space. I filled it. I've got my fire pits, my ovens, my cauldron, everything. It all ventilates out so we're not filled with smoke. I actually really enjoy doing the cooking. I like putting the stuff in the oven and stuff like that and kind of waiting on it. I think it's very relaxing. But we have our fermenters and everything like that. But all the food you need to eat, you gotta have a big kitchen to make sure you're doing it here, so it all gets stored. And you're probably thinking, well, where'd all the food go? That's a great question. All the food is in here. This is the pantry. So a smaller room, but it keeps everything from our weak meats, our strong meats, vegetables, flour. It's called gross because it has slimes and stuff in it, honeys and jellies. The portal down to the farm. And then, of course, our personal grand mead hall. So this was all me. I decorated this. This was just an empty room. And I'm like, you know what? We need a place for a proper Viking to sit. Everyone's got their own meal. I should swap some of these out for some of the new stuff. But everyone's got their own meal. It's decorated. It's where you would sit if you were, you know, celebrating a kill of some wolves and stuff like that. These just leads out to just a little storage area for now. Nothing too major sits out here. I don't quite know what to do with this nook. If you know what I could do with this little nook, let me know. But that leads us to the ramparts. Again, a nice little aerial shot of the farm. I have all these ballistas because a whole bunch of dragons spawn over there, and it gets a little annoying. You probably could hear them have been yelled the whole time. That's them. So I'm just going to run up on the roof because I want to show. So, we dug the whole trench out there. There's actually a stone guy who like spawns back there, which is why all that's destroyed. But just ignore that. Nobody worry about it. And there is a lot of work I want to do with this, especially with all the new materials we've gotten. I want to maybe rearrange some things, but you know, it's a lot of work and it's a team effort, so I don't want to do too much. The last room, again, we just had this front room, and I was like, this is empty. What am I gonna do with this? And I thought, you know what? We need a bar. We need a place for people to hang out. So little candles on the table. This just leads back into the storage room, so we're not gonna go back in there again. And as you can see, it's decorated with trophies. I want to swap some of them out. I've got some new ones. Um, Bar patrons could sit here. Nice little places to sit. And it's all done up really nice. I did replace the floor with the new stuff in here. So far, that's all I've done. But yeah, and then it leads right back out into the main courtyard. And that, honestly, is the castle that we built and everything that we've done. I thought it was a pretty cool and impressive feat. Maybe it's not one of the better builds you've ever seen out there, but for a group of friends who were just having a good time and thought, you know what we want? We want a giant mountain castle. I thought it was pretty cool. Can't believe I ended up talking about this for over 26 minutes. But if you watched all of it, I hope you enjoyed the tour. And if we ever do any updates, maybe I'll do another one of these. Thanks. Love y'all. Bye.